Hi, Coach. Welcome. We've heard so much about recruiting, but of course NIL is a big part of the discussion in college football today. What's your plan to kind of balance those two and just kind of bring that to your approach here at Syracuse?
Well, I wasn't recruiting just with my looks when I was at Georgia, so I totally understand NIL. We got a good plan. We're going to talk to guys. We're trying to do some things to help our entire team first, and then we'll be able to build when it comes to the outside of guys coming in. We understand the caliber of player that we want. And we got some things. We got some alumni that are like great and involved and want to be involved. You know, we got a couple different NIL places that we kind of get our stuff from. But I couldn't really just tell you like what's my plan NIL because each kid gets something different. You know, everybody's different. Like, I mean, we don't make the same amount of money, so I couldn't tell you like what each guy gonna get. But what I can tell you is that we are ready for NIL. We are ready to compete, and we're gonna compete as long as, like we said a little bit earlier, everybody be willing to help.
Hi, Coach. Stephen Fonte with Channel 90 ABC here in Syracuse. Congratulations on the job. To play off Brent's question about recruiting, NIL aside, what is your message to recruits, and does the sales pitch change at all from Georgia to Syracuse, or is it essentially the same sales pitch?
That's really the same thing because like I don't really have a recruiting pitch. I just got, do you want to be successful? Do you want to become a man? Do you want to be a good father? You want to be a good husband? And when you're asking those questions and they can continuously see you really showing that on a day-to-day basis, then it becomes like authentic, you know. And I'm constantly calling them, constantly talking to them. But I'm building genuine relationships. I'm not just talking to you real quick and, hey, you know how you'll say somebody and I don't remember your name. Now I'm going to know your name. I'm going to know your grandma. I'm going to know your aunt. I'm going to know your cousin. I'm going to know your friend that passed away 4 years ago that you cared about because I'm going to make sure that I'm detailed with everything and write it down. Because I think the most important thing to that kid is him. So in order for me to have him trusting me, I need to understand and know him. So like I don't think the picture changed. I think we're going to recruit. I'm going to recruit a different athlete, you know, and I love our team. I looked at those guys, but I'm going to recruit depth. I'm going to recruit difference makers. I'm really not afraid of no coach in the country. So whether it's a G, I don't care about that. You know what I mean? So whatever it is, we're going head to head with whoever it becomes. So we're ready to compete. We're ready to recruit.
We have two questions in the second row, far left. Mike, why don't we start with you?
Coach, Mike McAllister from Sports Illustrated. What is your approach going to be recruiting-wise from a geographic standpoint? What key areas you're going to try to hit?
Well, first off, we're going to take care of our backyard. So from Canada to DMV, I told Coach Smart and them before I left, hey, you got all these guys now, because out of respect of, you know, down there where I was at, you guys got the players now. Don't come back up north. And he laughed at me and giggled. He said, yeah, I ain't wasting my time no more. But we'll be from Canada through the DMV. You know, we're going to have little spots where we can spot recruit because I've been in Florida. I recruited well there. I've done a good job in Texas. I mean, on West Coast, you know, I was always told later I got an uncle that's around and he's funny. He always say, Neff, earth's your turf. So it don't really matter, but we're going to take care of our backyard from the Canada all the way down. You know, I think that's where they won in the past with Pascalone and De Leon. They truly won in Connecticut, New Jersey. They went to the DMV and got some good players, and they spot recruited Florida and brought some good players down, Philadelphia. So I'm going to follow that same blueprint because it worked. They had a lot of pros, so I'm going to follow that blueprint.
Coach, Josh Crawford, Sports Illustrated as well, black man. Talk about the success that you've had in the high school ranks, obviously with the emphasis and the raised importance of the portal. Do you think it's a one-to-one translation with how you win recruiting high school guys versus portal guys?
I don't really understand your whole question, to be honest. The beginning part, you had me off, so you might have to ask me that again. Can you ask that again?
You know, with the success that you've had recruiting guys, you know, high schoolers, with the increased emphasis on recruiting out of the portal, do you think it's a one-to-one translation with how you recruit 18, 19-year-olds out of high school versus 22, 23-year-old guys out of the portal?
Same, man. They all kids. I ain't become a man until I was, like, last week, T. I become a man. I mean, let her tell it. But it's the same message. I mean, your message is your message. Like, you can't sit there and go tell this one kid this one thing and another one another. I mean, now a kid in the portal that was at another school. See, I think that everybody all ready for the portal, but you got to be careful with the portal now. They are leaving. I'm saying they are leaving now, unless there's situations where they were ran out, where that happens, and different things when it comes to the kid's mind and wasn't able to adapt right, and maybe he can adapt better around me. Maybe I'm a better fit for her as the head coach. Then we'll go to the portal then. But I believe in high school. I believe in developing. I was developed. You know, kids are developed, and I think you get more when you take the time in the long run. I don't really want to hit the portal unless I know for a one-year guy, unless like we talked about it and we said, if he a pro and we know he getting drafted and the relationships that we had with maybe people in his family from the past and things like that, then we'll take a 1 year. But we want 2 years because we got to really develop that dart. You know, I want to make sure that guys understand and know what being detailed, accountable, relentless, and tough are about. So, like, we got to develop that. So it just depends, but it's the same exact message, buddy. It's no different. I'm not going to talk to you and the guy from Sports Illustrated next to you any different. I'm going to be the same guy. Yeah.
We'll go to Dan in the second row.
Coach, welcome to Syracuse. Dan Tortora, wakeupcalldt.com. I spoke with Kirby Smart yesterday, and he said Braden had the toughest kind of place when you decided to leave. Just what you can say about those relationships in your family and building off of that to go a little bit deeper and how important that is to you. And when you talk about family, why the Orange family of alumni is so important.
So you asked about my relationship with those guys and how it was leaving. It was tough. It was hard. I really grew a relationship with Muschamp. You know, and which I'm trying to do some things with Muschamp. But I grew a good relationship with Muschamp, so that was tough. Glenn Schumann is the guy that made the call, and we got like a running joke. He called like 2 years ago, and we always walk by, glad you made that call, because I was losing at this other school, and then I got to go there and win a championship. And then Kirby Smart is just one of the most competitive guys I've ever been around. And he's taught me so much in 2 years. I mean, this dude, when I first got there, I tried to sit as far away from him as possible. He said, no, Frank, you told me and you was going to get the best players, and I told you I was going to help you become a head coach. Sit right here, buddy. So I had to sit literally right next to him for 2 straight years. And I got a section in here that says smart notes. It's just like bat it and beat it and beat it and beat it. And it was just really good. I mean, his wife is an amazing lady, Miss Mary Beth. She did a great job with my wife and just showing her stuff. And then his son, little Andrew, and the twins. I mean, so that relationship and the relationships with all the other guys on the staff, I'll always keep them because it was genuine. You know, there's some relationships with some guys that wasn't real, so it's always hard to leave it. But when you're leaving for better, you know, to better yourself, then it becomes simple. And then coming here, like, why not? See, that's the thing I look at, like, why wouldn't I? Like I read this one thing because my wife, she, like, sometimes will look at stuff, and then my son, I'm like, yo, leave me alone. But they was like, why would he want to leave Georgia to come here? I said, you see how much money this man offered me? But it's nothing like being able to run your own program, and then I would have had a chance to do what was I seen done before. Like my first college game, I went to Rutherford Stadium and watched them play. So then I get a chance to come mimic that and see that, and we would watch on TV because see me growing up, it was Syracuse, Miami, Florida State, like they were all winning. Virginia Tech was good, like all those guys were up. So I was like, dang, I get a chance to go back and bring it back where it was. And then with such a guy that showed me, I got a letter in my office where George DeLeon pulled me in one day. And he said, listen, you're too good. You need to work with other staffs. You need to get better schematically. Keep busting your butt and doing this. You're in a good place in your career. Now go. He was like, now go. And he said it about 3 times. And I looked at him, and we were together, and it changed my career, man. I left from Baylor and went to Temple. Everybody thought I was crazy. But I knew he knew what he was talking about. And I went from Baylor to from Temple to Rutgers, and then Rutgers to Georgia. And now I'm your head football coach because I listened to a bright man. So relationships mean a lot to me, man. What's up, man? I'm going to start picking because it's going a little bit. What's the man? There you go. You're right there. You're right there.
Thank you very much, Coach. Mark Frank, Associated Press. What are your plans for the next month in terms of coaching the bowl game, getting your staff together, and how much time you'll be spending here as opposed to Georgia? Are you totally done with Georgia at this point?
See, I told him last night, I told my wife before, like right after we got done with the SEC championship, which is just like sucks. Like after we got done with that, I was just like, I'm the head coach of Syracuse. Yeah, I won't go back. I'm here to support my guys. I'm here to do everything possible. I hope he still give me my check because we did help make the game. But I'm completely here. I'm locked in here. We're recruiting. We're trying to have an official visit coming up this weekend. We're full tilt, man. And I got. I mean, this guy right here, man. Just the support that we got. Like, it just makes me feel comfortable. I mean, I know he's tired of me calling him. I call him about 25 times a day, just constantly calling and ringing. But the support you get from the athletic director, the help that it comes. So, like, I got to be full in because they're fully in. So I don't want them to think that I'm half-stepping in. You know, we full in. I'm full go Syracuse. Our bowl game, I'll be watching this practice. I can't wait till we practice. Like, I can't wait till we out there at practice. That's all I'm looking forward to, being able to watch this practice, evaluate the players, evaluate the coaches, just give them the opportunity of seeing everybody. But I'll be here watching this practice and see how all that stuff going. If they start trying to make it too much about me, then I'm going to step back and I'm going to let the coaches coach. And, you know, I'll watch from a window or watch from afar. But I want it to truly be about the kids. I want to see them develop. I told them yesterday these 15 practices are invaluable. Like, you got to be able to use those practices. Like, get yourself better. Lock in, get treatment, do all the things you're supposed to. Dominate classes next week, but I'm here. Like, I ain't going nowhere. Yeah. I was joking about the pick. There you go, man. I was joking about the pick. See right here.
Hi, Coach. Emily Leiker, Syracuse.com. Just wondering what your timeline is for hiring your assistant coaching staff and how deep into that process you are right now.
Oh, I'm deep into it. Shit, we just got the best we just got the best coordinator in the country. Elijah Robinson's coming here already. You know, so I mean, you guys should be clapping about that. That was big. That was big. Just having a chance to get him, man. We grew up together, and I tell you, he got me involved in football and got me wanting to like coach, involved in coaching. And I mean, it was expensive, but we went all in. And the athletic director, he was just all about making sure we get him, because this guy, not only I think outside of myself, I tell him he's better than I am. This guy can recruit. This guy can coach. He's a great communicator. He's amazing X and O wise, and all the kids gonna love him. So we need to take advantage of having him and make him feel comfortable here, guys, because he won't be here long. We're gonna try to do everything we can to get 3 years out of this guy. So make sure you guys let's treat him like, to make sure he feels comfortable and this is his home.
John, Fran mentioned he's well paid. Is there anything you're willing to share with us in terms of salary or?
Nah. I mean well paid in reference to welfare stuff that I'm getting. I'm fine, buddy.
He's going to be buying me dinner.
So no, in terms of terms.
No, it's Chris. I've said the past couple of years, right? We've looked to make strategic investments in the program. We've done that, and where can we get the best, return on that, right? And I also said 2 weeks ago, the programs who spend the most don't always win the most, right? It's how you spend, and to be really, really smart, and we spend a tremendous amount of time doing that, and that's what we'll do.
And I'm Chris Carlson from the Syracuse Post-Standard. Fran, I forgot that part, and I'm sorry. And John, you've also referenced Fran's vision a couple times, and in terms of the minute specifics, are there a couple that you're willing to share that really impressed you? A couple things of those specifics.
The entire, how he laid out, the schedule literally for the year, right? I mean, by every segment of the season, and the focus on academics. And people talk about it, but the focus. And as I said in my remarks, his first meeting after the team meeting yesterday was with our academic support staff, and it went long because he's late for dinner. And it was good because he's with the academic support staff. So I also said he's authentic. He's authentic and he's genuine, and that's what you see. And you see that vision. And I talked to Kirby Smart the day after Thanksgiving for about 25 minutes. And Kirby could not say enough positive things about Coach Fran. And I talked to Matt Rule as well. And again, and everybody else I spoke to was the same. It was the same feedback, right? Really good football mind, great at building relationships, great communicator, authentic, genuine, cares about his players. So you combine all that, and then the fact he's a great recruiter. And I remember a story when I was at ESPN. We hired Jim Calhoun to be an analyst, and I had lunch with Jim, and he said, when I first got into coaching, I thought it was 90% me and 10% the players. He said it's the opposite. Yeah. You need really good coaches. Really good players make better coaches.
Coach, we've got some great student media here. We've got Henry from the Daily Orange.
How y'all doing?
Good. Hi, Henry O'Brien from the Daily Orange. You talked about earlier just what your message is to recruits, but what are your messages to just some of the coaches that are considering coming to Syracuse, and just why come here?
So do you want to know about to recruits or to coaches? My message is we're going to compete. You know, you want to be with a coach that's going to push you, that help elevate you. You know, I'm all about having guys come. Like I talk to every guy that might want to come in to be a QC. I'm talking to the guys on the staff. If that's all you want to do, this won't be the place for you. I want guys that want to want to advance, they want to move up, that want to be guys like I talked a second ago about Elijah Robinson, who I played with in high school. I want him to go be a head football coach. Like I think it's my job to equip and inspire the entire staff. So I want guys that want to move up, that want to advance, that's going to challenge each other to be able to go. So like my message to them is to come because I'm going to get you where you need to get to. The same way I do it with the guys, with the players, I can also do that with adults. Like we spoke earlier, I'm from a rough city. So as a ninth grader, I was able to tell guys that ended up being pretty treacherous in the street what to do. So I know how to get guys to be able to pay attention and get them to be able to want to be here because coming here, it's going to only elevate your career. Look what I talked about De Leon, talked about Pasqualoni. Let's go to all those coaches that was here before. Steve Adazio, who's been a head coach all over, great football coach. There's a lot of guys that came here and careers started here, and they helped them move on because that's what they were supposed to do. So I'm going to just try to go mimic what Pasqualoni did as much as I can. Appreciate that.
Let's go to Wyatt.
This is Wyatt Miller, also from the Daily Orange. We talked a lot about you and your recruiting and how you're able to do that. What are your messages to kind of the families of those recruits, and how are you able to make them feel like their kids' futures are in the right hands?
A little something my son and them are like, did you pray today? Nah, it's mean. They do that on TikTok, but I just talk to them about life. Like, we have a family. I know what you want, you know? Like, you want your child to get educated. You want your child to get closer to Christ. You want them to go to college. You want them to get a degree, to be successful. When they leave college, you're hoping they don't come back home, like if they had to. So I just know what you want. And my message to them is like, yo, we're going to be there for your child. You're going to be able to call me at all times. See, what happens is coaches recruit, but once the kids get to school, you stop talking to the parents. That doesn't happen with me. That's why she always mad I'm on the phone. I'm talking to your parent the entire time. See, I've known you they've been around you for 17, 18 years of your life, right? I just got to meet you a year and a half ago, maybe at max. I don't know enough about you. I need to talk to the people that know who you are, that know what triggers you, that know what makes you act one way or another way. So I got to stay in constant contact with them, and I let them know when he's doing well, when he's doing bad, when we need to pick it up. See, I'm still making those calls. So if you act mature, then I'm going to treat you extremely mature. If you're not mature, then your parents going to know everything like you in elementary school. You know?
Coach Jesse McWilliams, Spectrum News 1. First of all, congratulations. Welcome to Syracuse. You mentioned taking time to watch practice, evaluate the players over the next 2.5 weeks or so. But how much will you hit the recruiting trail as well and kind of, balance, I guess, both worlds?
I'm hitting the trail tonight. I'm going to meet with most of the players. I'm going to meet with a lot of coaches, and I'm going out tonight. I'll start tonight, and then I'll be back in, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday early, come back in here. But I'm going to out-recruit. You see, this is what happens, right? Guys become head coaches, and they stop recruiting. That's why I got the job. We all understand that. So I'm not going to stop that. Why would you stop what you're good at? I'm going to try to get better at that because I always think you can continuously grow, continuously get better. My son's 19, so I'm kind of knowing what the young guy's thinking. I got an 11-year-old, so I got a lot of time. I'm going to get all the best players because I'm going to know how you're supposed to think. But I'm not stopping that. So I'm going to be on the recruiting trail. Right before I came in here, I had a call and some different things I'm setting up. But I'm on the trail tonight, and then I'll be back tomorrow to meet up with the players some more, get with different guys on the staff, and then I'll be back out Wednesday. But I'm never, ever, 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 ever going to stop recruiting. So make sure you understand that and let that be known to all the coaches where they think, how we got him off the road. No, you don't. That's why we got Elijah. That's why we got Elijah.
Thank you. Coach, right here. Mike Ostrowski, newsmagician.com. You have the opportunity to coach in the Dome. It's one of the most unique home field advantages in college football. How do you plan to continue that tradition of, relying on the crowd noise, relying on the big defensive stops going forward?
Just by the way we play, I think you're going to love our style of football. So, and then I'm going to be talking to you from here all the way through. I'm calling you out, be at the game. I'm calling you out, be at the spring game. Make sure we're around. Make sure we're there. Alumni, just come out. I'm calling you out. For it to be packed, then we need everybody here. That's kind of on you because you get to see them. You got more followers than me probably, right? So let's make sure we kind of get them out there, though. But we plan on it being packed. You know, I plan on everybody from where I'm from trying to make it down here to go. Everybody from Syracuse, our whole community. Told you earlier we were going to do a lot of community service. And I'm not going to do community service for the cameras. So I'll be out there on my own. Like, that's what I do. So I'm going to be out there to take care of that. So as they see, like, oh, that's the coach. Dang, cleaning up our block. Oh, that's the coach that's over there helping out at the Salvation Army or doing different things at the YMCA. I'm going to naturally make all of them want to come and want to be around because it's their spot. So filling the dome is something that naturally happens because you guys love it. I just come to get to be a part of this. I get to be a part of a great tradition that I'm going to try to make sure I uphold the standard and then try to go above and beyond.
Let's go to Dominic, then Steve, then Tom.
Coach Dominic Chapone, NunesMagician.com. Likewise, also congratulations on being the new head coach. For starters, obviously been a very chaotic few weeks just trying to kind of get you situated and all that. What's been the process like adjusting to coming up here to Syracuse, getting to get your face around campus? And can you also speak to the personal experience of being a black coach and what does that mean coming from your upbringing and the values that you can bring to the program?
Those are some really good questions, man. Folks, it was hard at first. When I got the job, the first thing I did, the search firm guy called me and he said, hey, you got it. I said, are you serious? He said, how you feel? I said, can we pray? And we just prayed. I just prayed that it go the right way. Me and him talked on the phone, got some things right. And but I was still obligated to helping us go out and play in the SEC championship. So I was trying to do both, wasn't sleeping that much, but I was just locked in on both. And then no matter how much I tried to, let me get in my folder right now and do this with Syracuse, I seen those kids coming by and like, dang, I owe this to these guys to give everything I had. So it was tough because I was trying to do two things the entire time, and I had to be devoted to that program because that's what I signed up for. But afterwards, you know, just getting the chance to, at the end of the week, it started getting a little rough. Coach Smart told me stay home Friday. I got to interview a lot of people, do a lot of stuff. Friday was very productive for me. Friday night, I was back at the hotel with the players and getting ready for Saturday. But as soon as the game was over Saturday, I was hurt, but I was also happy that I like, dang, I'm about to go take over this program. Like, we about to go shop the country. My wife and I'm gonna tell you, I'm competitive, man. So like, I gotta win at everything. If you can't chew gum faster than me, you know what I'm saying? So I want to win. And then just being a black man, being a head football coach here, I mean, just being a black man, period. Not just a head coach, but being a black father. Being able to show how that's done the right way, you know? Being a black husband, doing that the right way, making sure that she's comfortable all the time. And I mean, just all that. It's a lot that comes with being a black man. I think it's a lot that comes with being a white man. You know, like we got to uphold, and it's about us raising the community and bringing the people behind us, showing them that, hey, this is what we're supposed to do. This is how you're supposed to do it. Now, do I know that there's a little more on me because I am a black man? Yeah, I'm cool with that. I can handle that. And I'm excited about that because I'm going to open the door for everybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do it right. Ain't going to read no dumb stuff about me. I ain't going to embarrass this man. Why would I mess his name up? I can't mess his name up in the paper. So I'm going to do this thing the right way because it's bigger than me. It's a lot of people that came before me that didn't get the opportunity, and there's going to be a lot that come after me that because you act similar to Fran Brown, it's a great chance you're going to get the job. So I'm going to bust my butt, and I'm going to do this the right way, guys. I can assure you that.
I actually have a question for both of you. Fran, I want to start with you and just kind of play off that question. What do you anticipate, I guess big picture, you talked about the here and now, but big picture, what do you anticipate will be the biggest transition for you / challenge as you settle into your first head coaching job?
Dealing with the media. Man, you just never know. Like, you can't really tell that. Like, I wish I could go ask Tom Landry what was his biggest challenge when he first became it. Like, I'm going to do a lot of scenarios and situations in practice to get us ready, have us on different teams, me being able to call it, practice more like a game more so because I am a first-time head coach. So just do those things so that way you're kind of ready for the game. But you never really know what's going to be the biggest challenge until it comes. But I know this. I'm going to have the players' heart, and they're going to play for me. So regardless, we're going to all be together. And hopefully at the end of the game, we up a whole lot more than they are. So it won't matter. You know what I mean? But I can't really answer that. Like, there's no real one answer for that question. I just got to put us in scenarios and prep us so that way when the game comes, it becomes second nature, you know? And practice is the way that I can take care of that, just by practicing and outworking other guys in practice.
No, it's a good answer. John, to follow up on that, you were up here 2 weeks ago and you said, I want somebody who's either got head coaching experience or, you know, has been a coordinator at Power 5. Obviously, you know, Fran did not fit that bill, but he checks a lot of other boxes, and I think we're learning today, you know, what really won you over. Can you speak to that, though, aside from the vision?
Can I cut him off real quick, one thing?
Sure.
I wasn't a coordinator because I didn't want to be. I don't want to be on the entire side of the ball. Me and him had a discussion before. There was another school that wanted to hire me to go do that, and I had opportunities before. I can't touch the entire team if I'm the defensive coordinator. I got too much on my brain. I got a head coach cussing me out about all this other stuff and things that went on. I can touch the entire team at the position I had. I've never just recruited corners or DBs. If you go look at my resume, I recruited quarterbacks, linemen, D linemen, linebackers. Every position there is, I have one of those guys in the NFL. So the reason I wasn't a coordinator, because that wasn't my vision. Like I talked about mission earlier, right? I was on a mission, and I wasn't trying to do what, no disrespect, what the media or everybody says you have to do, like you got to climb these ranks. So I didn't want to do that. That wasn't something I thought about. So I talked to my uncles, and they said, if that's what you want, Nev, go get it. I said, they kept telling me, I had a little cousin that loves it. He was like, you're going to have to be a coordinator. And I was like, yeah, I feel you, cuz I really don't be wanting to talk to him no more because he was like against it. But that's why. So I don't want y'all to put that on him like he switched it up. That was totally like I didn't want to be a coordinator, and he kind of knew that from the coaches that he talked to that they want me to be the coordinator. I could have, that I do game plans at Georgia. So there's a lot of things that I've done that would be equivalent to being a coordinator. It's just I can't touch everybody being a coordinator, you know.
No, I hear that.
Steve, I would just add a couple things. Is you know where he's worked and who Coach Fran has worked with, right? You know, Matt Rule, and he's been in different situations, right? He's helped build programs, right? He's helped resurrect programs. You know, went to Rutgers, right? You know, Coach Schiano's the one coach who's had success at Rutgers, so he's part of that Big Ten program. And then he goes to Georgia, who's done it as well as anybody the past 2 years, and really impactful when I talked to Kirby Smart and Matt Rule, and what they said about Coach Fran, and that he is, you know, he is ready. He's more than ready. You know, the amount, I know, I won't say it, but I know how much of the game plan you did at Georgia on the defense, because Kirby told me. And by the way, Coach Smart could not have been more gracious through this, because he said, you know, whatever you need, you know, that, hey, you know, I'm here to support Coach Fran. So, you know, I owe some thanks to Coach Smart, because he's in a situation. He's coaching a conference championship game, obviously, you know, arguably the biggest game prior to the playoffs, and he could not have been more gracious.
Fran, welcome to Syracuse, man. Tommy Sladak, CMY Central. Interim coach Nunzio Campanelli, two Jersey guys. Did you have a previous relationship with him before this on the recruiting trail, and do you see a future relationship with him?
We did have a previous relationship, but I worked with him at Rutgers. He's a Campanelli. I mean, their name is known in New Jersey when it comes to football. All that his father done, I mean, arguably probably the best coach to ever be alive in New Jersey in football. He got a brother that coaches at a high school. Got another brother that coaches in the NFL. It's actually two of them in high school. So, I mean, the Campanellis, you can't, if you know New Jersey football, you understand and you know them. We did have a relationship. We are going to continue a relationship. So if you ask it, is he going to be on the staff? Yeah, he is. I think he's a heck of a coach. I mean, he went out there, and because of him, we get to watch 15 more practices, and we get one more game. So he did a good job, and I just love how he was able to keep the staff together. And it wasn't like he'd been here. He just came. There was other guys on the staff before him. So for him to come step in and just play his role, he understands his role, and he doesn't care about who gets the clout or who gets what. He just came in, locked in, and done exactly what John asked him to do. So I do plan on working with him. He will be on our staff, and I'm excited to have Campanelli stay here.
We've got a couple questions in the front row here.
Coach Mark Frank again from the AP. I wonder if we can go back to the 9th grade again, and you're in the Meadowlands. Can you tell me where you were sitting in the stadium, and when you're watching the, well, generally, I don't need to know the seat number and row number, but generally, and what really stuck out in your mind when you're watching that game about Syracuse specifically? What indelible mark, left with you?
I mean, it was the fact of coming from South Jersey. It was Ron Dane versus Donovan Darius. So we from Camden, so I was all like, yeah, Don gonna do this. I never got the chance to meet Don before. He came and spoke to everybody at the school, but we lived like similar blocks, so it was pretty cool. Just the fact that us, like Donovan Darius was playing. He was good in track, he was good in football, and he came to Syracuse and done it. I would say, my back was like towards the field. I mean, I can't really tell you that, to be honest. I know where I was at, but I remember us all. Yeah, it sort of was. But I know we were all just playing and joking and laughing about it. And we were arguing with the Overbrook kids because that's where Ron Dane went. And they had some players. And then we were able to come back and play them in football. And we ended up beating them. And I just remember us saying, we beat y'all twice. You know what I'm saying? Because Camden beat them and then we beat them. So it was good. That was literally my first time going to a college game. And first game was getting to see them. So it's a good question.
Also with Sports Illustrated. You mentioned that you want to run the football. You have a very good running back on your roster right now, LaQuint Allen, also a Jersey guy.
Mm-hmm.
Just interested what your initial conversations have been with players like LaQuint on your current roster.
We got to tighten up in all aspects of our life. LaQuint's a great football player. He's a good kid. He called me and talked to me about other things. I just told him, like, yo, who you are now, I think you could be an even better player. What you're doing now, I think you're going to do even better. We just talked about a lot. We talked about life. We talked about, I think it's already out, whatever. He had a father passed away a little while ago, which was heartfelt to him. We talked about praying. I said, I want you in my office 3 times a week, and we got to pray together. I want to make sure that you locked in on that. And we just talked about him being the best version of himself on a consistent basis. The football part, that's going to come with it. They know that's what I like. But it was more so life. And how can I help you be the best version of you? How can I make sure you stay healthy? Like, how much are you in treatment? So those are the questions that I'm asking guys. I'm not asking, like, hey, what you want to run? Hey, what's your favorite play? That's between him and the offensive coordinator, who'll be here pretty soon. But that's between those guys. But I was just focused on him and his life. That's why I get to be the head coach, because I can make sure that his life is right. Because, like, if you understand and know it, you could be doing really, really well in football, but you ain't living right off the field. And I'm not saying he isn't, so don't try to write that down and say he said LaQuint not living right. I'm saying overall, I want to make sure that their lives are right. Because when their lives are right, we're going to get the best version of them. Not just in football, guys. They're only going to play football for 3 to 10 years, but they're going to be educated for 100. That's going to live on through their children. Their kids going to see that degree on the wall. Then their kids' going to see it. And then the tradition continues to go. Like we talk about it in my family, I was kind of one of the first to really go get my bachelor's degree and be able to do that. And now we look back at it, guys. I ain't just break no curse. I shattered that mug. It ain't coming back. So I want to make sure that they on the same backs with that.
Let's stay in the front row here.
Hi, Coach. Peter Elliott with Citrus TV, the student television station on campus. You've talked about your vision for the program, but what, practically, will a week of practice look like for you? Will you emphasize work in the weight room, work on the field, in pads, out of pads? What will a week of practice under Fran Brown look like ahead of the game on Saturday?
That's like that's a wide question to ask. I mean, of course, we're going to lift, we're going to play, we're going to practice, we're going to do all those things, but, we're going to hit. So the thing that's going to be different with us, we're going to have pads on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Everybody don't do that. That's how you win, because that's where I came from and we won. So we will have pads on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Now, what's going to happen, we'll see. And I believe that if we do that, because if you look at Syracuse and where we're at right now, we're right there when you watch some of those games, guys. I believe it's the fourth quarter. I believe it's our weight room. We got to get stronger. I believe we got to eat right. And I'm not saying the food isn't there, so don't take anything I'm saying out of context, guys. Because if you do and you take it out and you try to say Fran said they don't got food or they don't got this, I'm never going to talk to you again. So just make sure we take this the right way, all right? But we're just going to get better at everything, And we are going to practice. We are going to lift, but it's going to be a lot of competitive stuff. I like to run the ball. I want to practice in the afternoon, but right now we can't do that. So we'll talk about what we're going to be at, but we're going to make sure it's the best way. We're going to do what's best for the players at all times. The most important thing are the players, and he said that earlier. It's about the Jimmies and the Joes. It has nothing to do with me, nothing to do with all the coaches. We're just going to equip and inspire them. But we got to have the right players, and we got to make sure that they're comfortable, they're mentally ready. Like, we got a great mental health specialist on campus. We got to make sure they're right with that. I talked to the kids yesterday. I said, hey, guys, I want y'all to be comfortable of going and talk to somebody if you're not feeling right, because I'm not educated in that area. I'm not prescribed to help you with that. I'm prescribed to help you with football, to help you become a man, to help you do those things. But when it comes to something mental, I need you to speak with somebody. Because we all do. I know we all think that we're perfect, but we're kind of not, guys. There's only one person who walked this earth that was perfect, and he died for all of our sins. So when I look at it, guys, I just want to make sure that we all understand, that you understand, that we're going to practice the way everybody else practice, but we're going to hit. I love contact. Like, I love contact. Like, it inspires me. So just so you know, we will hit.
2 more questions. Let's go to Dan.
Coach, you spoke about the importance of the alumni. There's a bunch of Syracuse football alumni in the room right now. What do you want to say to them as you look out to the crowd and see them?
Come to practice. I want to see you at practice. I need you around. These guys need to know who you are. I want you at practice. I'm going to have 4 practices that are for alumni. I want you guys at practice. I'd rather have you at practice than have your money. I want your money too, though. But come to practice. Like, we just want you at practice, man. I want to get your thoughts. I want to know how you feel. I want to know what you see, because this is your program, and it's going to go on. And there's nothing like being able to go to work and being able to talk trash about your team and know how well they're doing and know what's going on. So I want everybody at practice. I don't care when you played or where it was, whatever era you were in, you are welcome if you were on this football team. I want you guys at practice, and I need to see you at practice. If you come to practice, you're allowed to come to my office and complain. If you don't come, shut it up, bro.
Last question. Chris, you had a question?
Fran, you mentioned hearing, why would you go to Syracuse? When you reached out to John, what did you know that made you want the job? And was there anything in terms of a financial resource that he promised you that you needed to hear to take it?
We didn't really make no promises. We just talk like men, and he listened. You talk to a lot of guys that are in his position, they don't really want to listen or want to hear anything you have to say. But he talked like a man to me, and he listened to me. And I knew that with his background from all the years he worked with ESPN and all the stuff that he's done before, I also knew that this would be a good place for me, because I would have someone that I could follow. I would have someone that I could go to, that I could talk to about different situations, because he's been a leader of men for a long time, men and women. Sorry, no disrespect, but he's been a leader of men and women for a long time. So it was also had to be the right fit for me, because guys, like you said earlier, I am a black young guy that's becoming a head coach. I can't fail. So I had to be with the right guy at the right place, with the right chancellor that wants it all to work out the right way. So we just talk like men, and he just told me what he wanted. He told me what he was looking for. I was telling him what I wanted. And everything just kept matching along. It was almost like when my wife saw me and fell in love with me the first time. It was just like, wow. You know what I'm saying? But it all just matched up, man. And I just felt comfortable that I could go to him about anything. I felt comfortable that if we needed something for the players, he wasn't going to say no. And that's one thing that I asked him. You could tell me no about a lot with me, but don't tell me no about my players or about the staff. And he was comfortable with it. He said, yeah, we're going to do what it takes, because he wants to win a champ. He's a winner. I mean, you don't sit in this seat and be doing this if you can't win. This guy's a winner. He's been winning his whole life, so that's why we're up here to do it. But it was no, promises. It was just, Frank, this is what it is, and he listened to me, and he heard my vision, and he saw it just as clear as I see it. So now I'm the head football coach.
Coach John, thank you. Thanks, everybody, for joining us this morning. Go Orange.